values are cultural practices, habits, practices, convictions, and shared priorities that a family holds as important. That thing that a family holds so there, holds so there. They are principles, they are habits, they are practices, they are convictions that do what their families share together and they hold it dearly to themselves. That is what family values. Family values help to share how we love God, how we love one another, how we relate to the world, how we relate with people. All these things stem from our family values. They serve as a moral compass, guiding the behavior, decisions, and structure of the family unit. Yes, that's your family value. Examples of family values are honesty, integrity, love, respect, leadership, generosity, hospitality. Whatever you think you value so much is what is your family value. It should be your family value or your family values. Whatever you think that, and if some families, they pay attention to, okay, maybe respect. Like me, my own, we were so big on respect. I taught my children right from age 0 how to respect. And today, if you meet them, I have adults in my house. And if you meet them, in fact, sitting with them for 30 minutes, you know that these children, somebody taught them how to respect. So it all depends on the values you want to pay attention to. But your family value can be anything. It can be leadership. It can be anything you hold what's so dear. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are the roles of family values? What are the roles? How do they help us? Number one, it creates identity. It creates identity. Identity is, for me, is the core, is number one in everything. Once you have a child that understands his or her identity, you are good to go. Just go and sleep. You understand? So one of the things family values does for us, it helps to create what? Identity. Values give a family a shared identity, creating a sense of who you are, who we are, and what we stand for. Because there is this saying that when the purpose of something is not defined, what happens? Abuse becomes inevitable. And when you don't stand for something, you must fall for something. Yes, you must stand for something. So if you're not standing for something, you don't understand what your family is standing for. You don't understand what your family, you will do what the child will be confused, and the child will not stand for anything, okay? It also promotes integrity. It steals responsibility. It builds resilience. It defines what? Purpose. Children will understand purpose of their existence. They will understand. They won't be confused. They won't be like, I don't know what this family is for. I don't know what. Everything will be clear to them. Next slide, please. We need to run because the teaching is a bit lengthy, okay? So the blueprint of success in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 8. Can someone please read it for us quickly? Proverbs 29, verse 8. 29, verse 18, please. Yes, I will be drawing from the Bible. Yeah. Once you see, please, you read so we can run.
When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. For whoever obeys the Lord is joyful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, if you read it from King James Version, it says, where there is no vision, the people do what? Where there is no vision, the people perish. So every successful business thrives on two core principles. Number one is a clear vision. Number two is a strong structure. A clear vision. The same principles are essential for building a successful, purposeful family. If your family must be very successful, if your family must be, your children will understand the purpose of their existence, there must be what? A clear vision. There must be what? A strong structure in your home. So if the children don't understand what the family is for, stands for, where they are headed for, then the children will be confused. But when the vision is defined, the reason for our existence, why we are here, the children, where we are heading for, the children will do what? We know what the family stands for, and then they will represent well anywhere. So what are the principles of a successful family values? Number one, vision and mission. Yes. And the question I want to ask you this afternoon, what's your family vision? What's your family mission? If you enter any corporate organization now, once you walk into the school, the first thing you see in our reception is our vision and our mission. It's clearly written and stated out. In all the classes, we have it there because we want the children to understand why they are here. This is where you are. This is the vision of this school. and all that. So in your home, do you have it? Does your children understand your vision? Do you have a clear vision in that home? Do you have a mission? Do they know it? It's not just you having, I have a vision. If your children don't know what your family stands for, the vision of that family, they will be confused. So we are saying that a family without a vision is like a ship without a compass, lost even in the calm waters. In the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, the Lord said to the prophet, write the vision, make it plain. Let anyone that readeth do what? Run with it. So this afternoon, please, if you have your vision and you have your mission in your heart and it is not written, I will advise that please write it. Maybe you can frame it. Frame it, put it in a conspicuous place in your home. Let your children see your vision every blessed day. If you walk into your children's school, for those of you that have children in primary school, you will observe that in their classes, they will have charts all over in the class, pasted in the wall and all that. Some people will think, oh, those things are for decoration. They're not for decoration. It is to do what? Reinforce what? Concept. So you see us, sometimes we remove the chart, we place a new one, whatever we want to teach. The best way we reinforce is to put it there, because what they see constantly will do what? They will internalize. So you need to have your vision and your mission written, frame it, your core values, write it out. Frame it, put it in your anywhere that is prominent in your home, put it there. Let the children see it every day when they wake up. If they start seeing your vision when they are 1, 2, sincerely, even when they are 20, 30, they will not deviate. They will still keep to that family values and your family values. Let me put it that way. They will still stick to it. Okay, the other time someone was like, when I started teaching, someone was like, maybe because the children are still young, don't worry, when they get to, today I have 19, my first son is in 300 level. I can't ask him to sit down twice. Once I say it once, he will sit down. I don't need to say it twice, because once you instill these things in them, it will be part of them, and they will not depart from it. They will grow with it. And so please, I will advise this afternoon, after this teaching, let this be your takeaway. Go home. Don't just say, I have it in my mind. Write it. Put it somewhere. Put it. Let the children see it. Once in a while, review it with us. This is our family vision. This is our mission. These are our core values. This is who we are. Let the children understand who they are and the family where they came from, okay? Number 2 is family values also help values as the foundation, to set good foundation for your children. You understand? Your stated values must be lived out. Now, when I talk to parents, I tell them that parenting is not all about your children. Parenting is all about you. Because parenting is modeling. Parenting is what? Modeling. Some parents will talk and talk and talk and talk. Don't do this, don't do this. See, our actions are louder than our words. And what our children are seeing is our action, not our words. That's what they are listening to. So for every day, we are passing a message to our children. For every action, for whatever you are doing around your children, you are passing a message, and they are absorbing, they are internalizing. Okay? So we must, first of all, live out our values, which is what? The foundation. Another one is to invest in your values, invest in your family, investment and growth. In our school, we send our teachers for training once in a while, not even once in a while, every term. Sometimes we hire facilitators, they come to train on different things. How do you invest in your children? How do you invest in your home? You see families where they have toddlers, they have 1, 2, 3 years, there is no library in the house. You see a massive house, everything well, furnished, but there is no library for the children where they read. That one is a minus for me. And then you have children that are young, there are no books for them to read, there are no puzzles, there are no games, there's nothing to engage them. Every now and then the children are on telly washing and washing and washing because there is no structure in the house. Please, if you have toddlers at home, after this training, please go and invest in their life, buy them puzzles. Thank you so much. Thank you. So if your child isn't touching, your child isn't learning. Hear it from me today. So if you don't have puzzles at home, you don't have Legos, you don't have educational materials that your children will play with, please, it is important you get those after the station. Another one is accountability and legacy. What we are doing is we are living legacies for these children. We are living in our time. The children hold the future, and we're looking at the future, not today. For every time I look at my children, I keep asking myself, where do I want to see children in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years? That has, every day I look at my children. So we hold it now, and the children hold the future. So it's important our family values will help our children become accountable, and then we leave legacies for them. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's on family values. So for about to wed, or those that, even if you already have your family and then your children are even grown, please, it's important you start with your family values. Once your children understand your core values, you're able to instill it in them on time. We're talking about starting on time. These children will grow with those values. They will not depart from it. Okay, so we're looking at instilling godly character in young children ages 0 to 10. Now, do you know that the blueprint of how your child thinks, how your child loves, leads, is largely formed before age 10? Unfortunately, some parents, when they have children from 0 age, they will like, he's still a baby. 1 year, he's still a baby. 2 years, he's still a baby. They keep it, and the children will keep internalizing negative things. They won't take time yeah. So the most critical age bracket in anybody's life is between 0 to 10. Anything you're not able to achieve in your children between 0 to 10, God will help you, you will struggle. But at that point, you are not laying foundation. You will be amending. Yes. I'm talking to you out of experience. So, yes, I have grown-up children. So right now, what I see playing out in my children are those things I taught them when they were 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah, growing up, I was very big on I've said it before, on respect. I taught my children you must respect everybody. And then when you are teaching children you must respect, please ensure that you're not contradicting your teaching. And so I'm always conscious of how I talk to my house girls, everybody around me, because if I tell them respect and they see me say you are stupid to my house girl, then I will be contradicting my teaching. And so one of the days we were going home from school, then I think my second son was, maybe between 6, 7. And one damn fool man drove rough. And I'm like, I don't know what I said. I can't recall what I said, but I said something very negative. And my son kept quiet. After some minutes, he said to me, but Mommy, he didn't say a word at that moment. He gave me like 2, 3 minutes. And he said, but Mommy, I thought you told us that we should not. You see, children, he reminded me. And as soon as this boy said this, now I froze. I said, I'm so sorry, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. Please don't copy. In fact, it's a bad habit for your mommy. Don't copy it from me. I didn't defend it. I didn't tell him, but you didn't see what that man drove. It was wrong. No. Please, anytime your children indict you for anything and you know you are faulty, please don't. So that tomorrow, when they make mistakes, someone will correct them. And they will accept it. But if they see from their parents that every time mommy is defensive, a child is pointing at something that you did that is not wrong, instead of you saying, oh, I'm sorry, this is wrong. This is actually wrong. You will defend it. No. So we are saying that between age 0, this is the most critical time when every parent should pay attention to the upbringing of their children. The first decade from age 0 to 10 is the most defining period in your child's life. I've said it before. It's the most anything you fail to get to instill in these children now, you will still do it too. But in fact, if you have an engineer here, an engineer will tell you that it's better to start a new building, lay a good, solid foundation, right, than coming to amend. So when they are 10, 11, 12, you will start amending instead of them editing and growing with what you've taught them. Yes, I know when my son gained admission into secondary school, he will come back, he went to Deeper Life High School, he will come back and say to me, Mommy, because at that point, there'll be external influences around them. So you meet with his peers, and then it's not like when they are home with you, when you are shielding them, when they are not really exposed, especially when you take them to boarding house. So he will come back with different questions. And each time he will come with this question, I will refer him to what I've taught him. That's why I said between age 0 to 10, you must teach. That's when parents must be available. Unfortunately, today, so many parents are not available because of work, the economic situation, we're all busy. And then you see a number of parents entrusting their duties to their housemaid, nannies, and all that. It's okay to have people around you, but it's important you are present in the life of your children between this age bracket, okay? So in this 21st century, what is important for us is not to build behavior, look at behaviors. Some people are looking at behaviors. How is my child behaving? No, what it's important for you is to build identity in your children. Build that. Let them understand who they are and what they stand for. That's all you need. That's all you need, okay? So the question you keep asking yourself is, who is my child becoming? And then what am I teaching them about themselves? Teaching is important. And that's why the Bible says, train up a child. Teach. Don't be permissive. Don't sit down there and the child is misbehaving and you are neglecting what you should correct. Some parents will even be available, but they don't care. Oh, leave that baby, still a child. Don't worry, a child is misbehaving and you're saying he's a child. Between this age bracket, anyway, I'm going to get there where I will explain with the concept, Maria Montessori's concept. I'm going to explain that. Next slide, please. Okay, so the science of formation. I'm going to use Maria Montessori's theory to teach. Maria Montessori spoke of the unique absorbent mind of a young child, ability to construct and establish. You see, children, even those of them that don't start school on time, over there abroad, they don't start school on time until 4, right? And then you see, but that child at home, we be able on his or her own to do what? To construct and establish. You see them, they can, say anything, they start talking, and you're wondering is what the absorbent mind of that child. No child came empty. Every child, our children come with a great blueprint. They come already wired by God. What is remaining when a child is giving birth to is just notion. Every other thing they need, the potential they need to survive in life, they come with it. What is remaining and what God demands from us as parents is just to give them that notion. That's all. That's what will bring out what is in them, that God has deposited in them. So she was wondering, and I also wanted to wonder, the absorbent mind of a child. How could a child, you are sitting at home, a child of 1 year, 2 year, could on her own, you didn't teach her how to come on, suddenly the child will start calling mommy. The child will start saying they start with blabbering, and then before you know, they start talking. How? It's just because of the nature of their mind. And so when you have your 1-year-old child at home with you, you have your 2-year-old child, that child is learning from the environment. Everything around the child is a training. The child is absorbing. So if it's not far-fetched to see, if you see a child that is yelling, go and check the environment of that child. There's someone who is yelling at home. There's someone who is yelling around that. There's this girl, when she came to our school, teachers kept complaining. Today she'll push this person, the other day she'll just all sorts of. And then I'm like, one day we invited the mom. And then by the time I sat with her in the office, after 2 minutes, I don't need any preacher to tell me where the girl picked the characters from, because I saw it in her mom. Very aggressive girl. And then I saw her mom talking the way she was talking. I knew that the girl picked everything. So children absorb. You don't need to talk. They don't need to swear to learn. It's unconscious. They are learning and they're internalizing. They're keeping it somewhere. Then when it is time for them to use, they will do what? Go to where they've stored it and then extract and use it. And so if you have your 1-year-old child at home, you have your 2-year, you have your 3-year, and you are still in your mind thinking that this is a baby, and then I don't need to, or even when you're doing something negative, the children are observing. Yes, they are seeing you. They are learning. They are copying. They are internalizing those things. And so you are talking, maybe you are saying something negative on phone, you are talking down on someone. Your child that is there, that your 2-year-old child is absorbing those things. Your environment can also be your television, what they are watching, what they are seeing. It can be people around you. Yes, it can be people around you. And that is why sometimes, though I'm an educator, and then people bring children. If you bring a less than 2-year-old child in our school, we ask you to take that child back home. And then you see parents complaining, I'm busy with work. Because at that moment, the child is learning, is still building emotions. So they need to learn it from the primary giver, who is the mother or the father, not from an external person who is going to teach them something negative. Okay, so another one is the neuroscience principle, critical periods in a child's life. Neuroscience shows us that the young child's brain is remarkably plastic, capable of being shaped and stretched. A young child's brain is what? Can be stretched, is plastic. And that's why a child between a 0 to 7 can learn different languages. Yes, can learn up to 7 different languages. Catholic will tell me, give me a child between 0 to 7 and I'll give you a Catholic for life. What does that mean? They believe that they can indoctrinate that child and that child will become what? Catholic for life. So I'm saying to you today, if you have a 0 to 10 in your house, please, this is the time you need to be available. This is the time you need to discipline. This is the time you don't need to neglect anything. This is the time you don't need to bail them out. You see in so many homes, they bail children out. We see a lot in school. You see a 3-year-old child can't even feed herself. 3-year-old child will open her lunchbox, be looking for teacher to open the flags, be waiting for the teacher to feed her. Or you see a number of them will say, please feed me, I can't eat. Why should someone be feeding your 3-year-old child? God gave them hand to eat. But some mothers at home, because they have 100 servants at home, will get a servant to carry their food from the kitchen to the dining for them, and then feed the child. When the child is done eating, we'll take it back. You are not teaching that child responsibility at all. You are not teaching that child you are not teaching that child resilience. You are not teaching that child, you are not instilling what you should instill at that moment. And that's why you see some parents, a parent met with me, I think when was that? I think last term, and she said to me, Miss Solis, I need your help. I'm like, what exactly do you want me? She said, my daughter, this girl, she's in her year 5. Anytime I ask her to do something, she'll start grumbling, she'll start complaining. I said, okay, when did she start washing plates? She just started. I said, but you missed it out. That's why she's resenting you now. You missed it out. Because she's supposed to start from 2 years. Please, am I saying they can wash it when? No, you are teaching responsibility. When your child, that's the structure we talked about. The structure is that when they get up in the morning, they should have routines. So when you get up from bed after a morning devotion, what do? You need to sweep your room, you need to make your bed, you need to take your plate, go to the kitchen, carry your food. After eating, wash it. They won't do it well, but please allow them to do those things. Don't bail them out, okay? So okay, so what your children see in essence and hear or whatever experience you expose them between this age bracket does what? Shapes who they become in life. Next slide, please. Okay, so what's your practical action plan? Number 1, look at your environment. Number 1, is your environment very conducive? What are my children learning from my environment? That's number 1. Number 2, connect. In tough moments, affirm identity in our families. Number 3, include scriptures, prayers into your daily conversation with the children to help them. Because for you to also instill godliness in children, you need to start on time. Next slide, please. Now, the next topic we have, we're looking at 4 different things. How do we help children in 21st century? Now, the next thing you need in your home is what we call the media plan. The media plan. Okay, yeah. And then someone will please, who will help me? What's a media plan? I want to hear from someone, please, so that I won't be the only person talking. What's media plan?
I think it's a plan to regulate their exposure to the media.
Excellent. Yeah, correct. You're correct. I was going to say that, okay. So it's a plan to do what? Regulate what? How media is consumed in your home. In some homes, they don't care. Whatever the children want, let them watch. Anytime they like, they can turn on television. In some homes, they have it in their rooms. The children have all the freedom to turn and watch whatever they want. If unfortunately, in some homes, maybe the house is cabled from up to down. The children are having their tablet connected, and nobody cares what they're watching and all that. Please, you need a media plan for your children. Why do we need a media plan? Number 1, protect the mind. Number 1 is to protect this innocent mind. These children are innocent. They're innocent. So it's to protect their mind. Media influences every part of our lives, from how we communicate to how we perceive values and relationships. Media influences everything. And that's why sometimes you see some parents, I don't know where my child is learning this thing. They're not learning it from anywhere. They're learning it from your television. Yes. I don't want to bug you with stories. If I give you examples of encounters we've had in school, and then when we trace where from the television, we watched it, we saw it, and all that, okay? So it's important to help them to protect their mind. Number 2, it helps to build critical thinking. So when children understand what media is for, they will use it purposefully. They won't just be consumers. I always tell my children, you don't need to be consumers of what is on the net. You have to be a producer. What do you want to produce? You can't be every day you are clicking, you want to, what are you consuming? So it's important, it helps them in building critical thinking, cultivate discipline and time management. Screen can be like digital cocaine, even to adults. You see some adults that are already, once they're on their phone, they are glued. They don't even know anything happening around them. And so it can be like what? A digital cocaine. It stimulates that part of the brain, dopamine, that, that is responsible for joy and all that. So it's important. Don't just shield your children. You see some families, when I talk about media plan, I'm not talking about you shielding your children from having access to the television or having access to gadgets, but teaching them what to watch and when to watch. That is media plan. It's not, don't go to television, don't touch it as if there is one lion inside the television. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you know what? Guiding the children so when they want to watch, they will know what is permitted to watch, they will know what to watch, and they will know when to watch, okay? Place a system, boundaries, that will help the children, that will help put self-control. Self-control. My 2 boys are having fun because they're already in the uni. They didn't have phone until they got admissions into the university. Even when my first son was pushing for phone, I would tell him, use my phone. He went to a big school, and so each time he come back, he would tell me, this person has this one, this. He'll be calling names of big phones. I'm like, don't worry, you will get to not now. And then if you want to chat, then use my phone, because I also want to monitor who are you. I want to know who are his friends and what he's doing online with those friends, okay? And then when he got his phone, when he got admission, we bought him a phone. I told him this phone, this is the purpose of this phone. Know what and all that. So when they have phone, you need to teach them there must be boundaries. There must be boundaries. You don't just hand a phone over to a child who is not mature to have a phone, who does not even know what to watch. And then they will just be clicking here and there and be watching all sorts of rubbish. At the end of the day, when they start displaying, you will like, where? Well, this is not this family. I don't know where you learned this from. It's the phone that is teaching them, okay? Also, discipline helps to do, media plan also helps guard the eye gates. Our eye is what? Is like a gate. It's an access to the mind. It's an access to the mind. And what children see often, you know why we sometimes in television, in school we use television, we use screens and all that. Sometimes when you are teaching a concept, we have different learners. We have visual learners, we have auditory learners, we have kind of stuff. So we use different methods to get the children to learn. And so for those ones that, for some children, once they see something, they don't need to see it twice. It's already registered. And remains there. So you need to guard what? Their eye gate. You need to monitor what they watch repeatedly, because once they watch and watch, these things are internalized and it becomes a problem. When they're exposed to porn and they watch porn over and over again, they get addicted to it and you struggle with that. You struggle with that. And that's why today, go and look at our young men and the high institution, a number of them are into. In fact, each time I visit my son, he was like, Mommy, what is happening? With all the restrictions and Covenant University, see children coming with drugs. You see children coming with drugs. You see a lot of evil happening there. When this boy tell me what is happening in school, I'm like, with all the restrictions, in Covenant, they don't go with phone. You come with your laptop. But even with laptop, children are still smuggling a whole lot of evil. A whole lot of evil. So it's important we start on time. Everything I'm saying to you this afternoon is how to start on time. And I'm glad I'm talking to young people who are here to build their homes. If you start with this, you will raise amazing children. You will not need to struggle with them when they're 10, 11, 12. 15, 18, 20, 25. You will not. Because already they understand their identity. I am not afraid of what my son will do with phone, because already I've taught him He know what to watch and what he should not watch. So I can't be imagining that he will go and click and be watching porn. I don't need to think about that. So when you start on time to teach and teach and teach, this becomes part of these children and they grow with it, okay? Please, next slide, next one. Now, what are the principles of a working media? Number one, management. Number two, monitoring. Number two, mission. Number two, modeling. Okay? So it will help to manage time in the house. The children will know what to do part time because already there are routines. They know what to do. They know when to watch television. It can be 30 minutes per day. Yes. It can be 30 minutes. When my children were young, 30 minutes to watch, only you turn it off. And then they know what to watch. As soon as they turn on the tele, they know what to watch. You can't just go anywhere. Can't just go anywhere. So it helps in time management. It helps in monitoring. You look at what your children are doing online. Also, it will also help to feel what your mission. Media is not altogether bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm talking about putting control. Yes, because with that same media, the child can do a lot. The child can do a lot. The child can learn online. The child can do a lot. So we're not saying it is bad, but we're saying that it should be controlled. And then modeling, you as the parent, you should also model. You should be mindful of your own screen time. You can't have your phone every now and then you're on your phone, every now and then while eating you're on your phone, and you expect your children to do otherwise. It's not true. Yes. In my house, the system in my house is that once it is 10 p.m., everybody drop your phone in the sitting room before you go to your room, before you go to sleep. And then I also drop my own. My husband will drop his own. It's the system. Everybody. So I can't say I am the mother when it is after 10. I am pressing my phone, and then I want my children to drop. They will resent you. They will rebel. Yeah, mommy, you're still on your phone and you want us to drop out. So if I have a visual work to do and I need to stay be on my phone beyond 10 p.m., I will tell my children, you can see I'm working. I need to respond to parents. I need to do that. So everything about parenting is all about what? Modeling. Okay? Thank you. So in conclusion, these 4 principles help to ensure that media serves your family values rather than undermining them, because media is loud. Media is not neutral. Yes, go online and see what is happening. In those days, I used to tell my children to watch Disney World. But today, they've legalized. Yes, today, go to the. It's no today, because they've legalized LGBT. So there are a whole lot of evil, yes, going on today. Yes, so media is not neutral. Media is what? Very what? Loud. Yes. It actively competes your values. Those things you teach your children, media are competing. It's fighting your values. So you have to be there. You have to be there. Your child's mind is a battlefield, and every click is a potential weapon. So when you give them phone and they are clicking from here, please note that every clicking they are making are what? Every clicking rather is a potential what? Weapon. A strong media plan is your strategy for victory. So if you don't have a media plan in your home, please go and prepare. Do it with your children. What we do in school, okay, first day of school, we want to, if teachers want to make their class rules, they will make it with the children. So that you won't say, it's my teacher that said we should not. No. Everybody, what is right? When you want to go out of class, you need to go with your exit card. If you want to talk, you need to raise. Everybody will, it will be a what? A joint what? Yes. So it's not like this is Mrs. Olisa. No. The same thing applies in your home. Please sit with your children and tell them, let's work on our media plan. When do we do this? When do we do that? Draw a timetable. You should have a curriculum in your home. Why it seems as if some of us, we go to big schools, we pay so much. You're paying for what? You're paying for structure there. Because the organization is already well structured. There's time for everything. Everything is well defined. Your home should be structured in such a way that your children can predict. When they wake up, they will know exactly what to do. Even when you are not around, they know what to do part time. They are not confused. Okay? Thank you. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay. Now, the next question I was given, can I recall that topic? I have to rephrase it myself. To raising children who will shift culture, who will influence the society, who will not be carried away by everything happening out there, okay? So this is a parenting framework for young people who don't consume culture. Rather, they do what? They shape culture. Yes. They are not consumed by culture. It's not like, once you get to America, you must turn and start, go naked because I'm not. So they understand that. They understand their culture and they do what? They shape their culture. That's our high calling. Okay? We are not just called as parents to raise children. If a parent here, please note. We are not just called to raise children. We are called to do what? Plant kingdom seeds. This may just be your takeaway. Not just to raise children, but we are called to do what? You are looking at my slide. Please help me. Plant kingdom seeds. Next slide, please. So the question is, how do we plant these seeds? These seeds I'm talking about are seeds in the forms of values, in the forms of vision, in the form of wisdom, in the form of identity, in the form of truth. These are the seeds you need to plant in the heart of your children. If your children are seeded in values, see, they will not misbehave anywhere. Anywhere. Take them to Sodom and Gomorrah. They will still remain your child, Okay, so we are saying that for your children to do what? To shift culture in the society. In this society where evil are legalized today, nobody cares what's going on, a whole lot has gone wrong, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. You need to do what? Raise children who understand their values, who are seated in vision, who understand, they must have wisdom, they must know their identity, who they are, and they must be seated with truth. We plant this in the heart of our children. These seeds grow them into light bearers, torch bearers who can change, transform, and lead a confused and distracted world. So when these seeds are planted, our children will be light bearers, they'll be torch bearers, they will not be moved around. They will stand. In the midst of societal pressure, when they meet their peers out there, they will stand and still represent your family. Next slide, please. Okay, our children must be seated with vision. They cannot be children who blindly follow every whims and caprices of the generation, every passing trend and vibe. Every day cannot be. So you cannot shift culture without your children. Your children cannot shift culture. They can't represent you well out there if they don't have value, if they don't have vision, if they don't have wisdom, identity, and truth. Next slide, please. Then what's our assignment as parents? Our primary assignment as parents is not to protect our children. I think I've said this before. From the world. Some parents are overprotective. Junior, don't go out there. Don't go to this neighbor's house. So their children are not behaving well. Your job is to do what? To prepare these children. How long will you protect them? Let me ask you. How long? When they're when they're with you, maybe in primary school, you are still protecting and protecting. By the time they leave the house for secondary, how will you protect them? They get to boarding house. Will you be there to protect them? Will you be there to choose their friends for them? Will you be there? The most important thing is still this identity, vision that they need to understand. So when they want to make friends, they select those ones that their visions align with their own vision, not anyhow person. Or their values anyway align with theirs. Yes, so it's not all about shielding children. That's not what we are saying. But preparing your children to face the world out there. Note, the battle of culture begins at home. I've said it before. Everything about parenting is all about you. It's all about me. It's all about us. So the battle for culture begins at home. Culture is that invisible atmosphere that shapes how we think, behave, and see the world. That invisible atmosphere in your home. Nobody is seeing it, but there is a culture in that home. There is something. Okay, let's keep moving, please. Let's keep moving. Okay, so the home is a culture factory. That's what I call home. Your home is not just a shelter for your children. It's what? A culture factory. 4 foundational things that shape culture in our homes. I'm actually rounding up very soon. Be out of, okay? So one of them is what? Habits. Number 2 is what? Heroes. Number 3 is history. And then number 4, the home itself. Habits. The architecture of life. We must be intentional about the habit building and habit formation. when you think about habits, there are things you must think about. Think about discipline, think about routines, think about consistent character, consistency in parenting. I love what my friend did when we were in the vehicle. The children were making noise, and she said to them, if you don't keep quiet, I'll take your iPad from you. And then when the children were pushing to get it back, I was waiting to see if she would give it back to them. And then she insisted you must be consistent with your discipline. You must be consistent. Consistency is the game. Opposite of success is not failure. When you ask people, what's the opposite of, if I ask now, what's the opposite of success? Who will tell me? God bless you, Pastor. Please, can we clap for him? Yes. When I asked this question in one of my trainings in school, parents say, failure. And I told them to pay me for that training. It's what? Inconsistency. When you're not consistent with your discipline, with your policies or rules at home, your children will not take you serious. They will think that, you understand. So when she did that, I was just waiting. Let me even know what's going to happen. When the children were pressurizing her to get she insisted, and that was, for me, it's a plus for her. Okay? So habit is important. Habit. So please pay attention to habit formation. That your 1-year-old child, please pay attention to the habit she's forming. And start on time to knock off the things that you need to shed off quickly. Don't say it's a baby, because it's a baby, she'll keep internalizing it. She'll keep internalizing it until when she's grown. And when she's grown, you fight. It's better to amend, rather to build a child than to amend a broken adult. Very difficult to amend a broken adult. And that's why it's important to pay attention, to get it right on time. Don't miss it out. If you don't achieve this when they are with you, once they leave your house, once they go to secondary school, at that moment your voice will not be louder again. When they are young, your voice is the loudest voice they hear everywhere. My son, I told you I taught them respect, right? I was very big on that. Okay? And then one of the days, one boy in his class told him, Domino, you are stupid. And as soon as the boy entered the vehicle, he started crying. I said, what is it? He said, Mommy, so person said I'm stupid. I said, okay. I turned around and looked at him, and I said to him, are you stupid? He said, no. That was how I solved that problem. I didn't say, are you stupid? He said, no. So why are you crying? So he now knew that he's not stupid. But to him, it was so surprising that somebody should use such negative words on somebody. Do you understand? So at this point, my voice could counter everything. He didn't need any other person to convince him. And so when they are young, your voice is the loudest voice they are listening to, they are hearing. Even the inner voice they hear is your voice. But once they go to secondary school, maybe 11, from 10 upwards, at that point, your voice will not be loud again. The loudest voice will be their peers, their friends. And that's why when you tell them something, they'll go back and run it by their friends. Yes, they go back and tell them, my mommy said this. Yes, each time my children come back. In fact, this slide, I completed it in the church today because my son came back 3 days ago, the one in Babcock, and then whenever my children come back, I'll shut down. I want to give them time. Yes, they were also a covenant to see his brother, so I don't really have time. Because I keep talking with them. And they will tell you stories. I'll tell you amazing things. You understand that if you don't connect with them, if you are not emotionally connected, you will not know. You will think everything is fine when nothing is fine. Okay, so we are saying that please pay attention to habits. Habit formation is critical. That's how you cannot raise children who will change culture if they don't have the right attitude. In your home, remember I say your home is what? A culture factory. What is culture, please? Let me ask a question. Way of life of a group of people, right? Yes. Common social studies. Even in primary school, we teach them in primary 1. Culture is a way of life. So the question I need to ask you this afternoon, what is the culture in your home? What is the culture in your home? Because before you talk of outside, look at your home first. What is the culture in your home? Please go home and think about this question and look at the culture in your home. The next one is heroes. Who are the heroes in your home? When I talk about heroes, I'm talking about role models. Who are the role models in your home? Who are your children's role models? Who are they watching? Who are they beholding? Who are the heroes around your home? There's a girl that the mother's younger brother was messing around with in their house. I'm telling you the gospel truth. In school, one of the days, girl came walking somehow, and we're like, the teacher, brought her to me. By the time I probed the girl, I noticed that the mother's younger brother was the one molesting that girl. They were living in the same house. And he will want the girl not to, if you open your mouth and tell anybody. Until I had to invite the uncle to come see me in school. So who are the heroes? People you are living, who are they? Who are your children role models? Please find out from them. Because these children, the other day I was doing something, we were doing something at home, we were making juice in the home, and we were looking at the combination. And my friend visited me, and she was like, we need to remove apple seed though before we blend. And before we knew it, my son Googled and gave us the answer. Today, the Google is there. So if you don't have wisdom as a parent, if you are not available, Google will be training them for you. Google will be their role model. Google will be training them. Anything they want, they will ask Google. Anything they want, they will ask. And because the parent is not available. So the question is, who are the heroes in your house? The next is history. What is the power in your lineage? Do your children understand your history, where you came from? Do they understand where you came from? Do they know anything about your family? Do your children know your family history? Unlock the superpower in your lineage. Let them understand. One of the days I called my dad. I needed to ask him, who was your great-grandfather? Tell me the story of your history. And I told him this December I was taking my children to village because I need my father to tell them our own history. I need them to understand the superpower in mine. And then from his story, I understood a lot, even more about me and my siblings. So you need to understand your children, you need to tell them stories, history about your family. They need to know we are people of so. We are not ordinary people. We are known for this. Because if they don't know where they came from, it means identity is already compromised, and it's a problem. So you need to tell them history about your home. Then the next is the home, a destiny factory. That's what I call home. So your home is not just a shelter for your children. No. If you are thinking my home is just a shelter for my children, you're making a mistake. Unfortunately, some people don't care. When visitors come to your house, you will push your children to somewhere and then give their room without their permission. No. Give their room to a visitor who visited and all that. And you don't also care what that visitor is doing in your house. Somebody might come to your house, okay, you have a media plan, the person does not have knowledge of media plan, the person will come and be watching nonsense with your children, and you will not even care. Please, your home is a destiny factory. If your children are to shift culture and the society, your home must be more than just a shelter. It must be a factory where destinies are shaped. Your family must be a what? Please help me now. Excellent. A factory. So from today, begin to see your home from a different perspective. If before you were seeing it as just a shelter for my children, where we come and we stay, everybody is happy and all that, it's a factory where destinies are what? Shaped. Next slide, please. Okay, so food for thought, I'm out, we're almost done. Okay, food for thought, the battle is real. And this 21st century, internet has changed the game for us. We growing up, I didn't have a phone until I think I came back from youth service. That was when I had my first phone. Okay, yes, I didn't have any phone. Yes, until I came back. So when I was in school, I had all the time to read, and there was no distraction. But today, there's a whole lot of distraction. Children in school today are not even studying. Everything is done with AI. Yeah, lecturers are complaining. So the internet has changed the game for us in this 21st century. Now the question is, what do I do? Seeing that culture is not neutral, it's very loud out there. What do I do? Culture is always active, often louder in the form of peer pressure and societal norms. Yes, even when you have good children, when they go to school, do you know the people they will meet? My son, while using my phone, I spotted one boy. The boy, every now and then, what the boy will send to him will just be rubbish. And I'm like, Conqueror, who is this person? Who is this? I went to the school group, looked for the mother's number, sent her a private message. I need to talk with her because, sincerely, yes, of course. I wonder, no. You're laughing, right? Hey, see, at this point, see, if you have this knowledge, the next best way you can protect your own children is to ensure that people around you also gain this knowledge. Their friends, their parents. That's why it's important you know your children's friends and their parents. It's important. It's very important. Make them your friends too. So that at least as you're working on your children, somehow you're also helping them out. Yes. I will tell who is your best friend. Give me the mother's number. The other time my son wanted to attend a birthday, and I'm like, can I go with you? He laughed. He said, Mommy, why do you want to follow me? I said, I just want to go and see the boy's mother and all that. Now, he laughed and said, Mommy, it's not necessary now and all that. Yes. I have, for me, anyways, so it's important. So, the peer pressure and societal norms, okay. Remember we said that family is not created for fun, it's created to fulfill what? Prophecies. Yes. So what's your family prophecy? Yes. Strategically communicate your vision and purpose to your children. Help your children align with God's divine purpose for their life. It's important. You must communicate it. They must know it. Please don't assume that they know it. Yes, assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. Don't make an assumption. They know it. No, don't, please. Do what? Strategically communicate that to them, okay? So this is the end of what I have on my slides. Okay. So I'm still going to take, before we get into question and answers, I'll still take 5 minutes because I told you I didn't have time to work on this slide. So there's something I still scribbled down while in church. So now from the main theme of this thing, how do we, so this is going to take me just a few minutes. Okay, sir, thank you. It's going to take me just, sorry, second, please, 1 minute. Okay, so we know our team is parents who will raise our wholesome children. I don't want to miss this out, you understand? So before we can raise wholesome children, we must have emotional intelligence as parents. That is the key. Very key, very key, very key. I think I gave one example of an aggressive woman and the child, I still see it in her children, okay? So we must have what? Emotional intelligence. If you read Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32, we're not reading, but it's important you note that part of the scriptures. Proverbs 16:32. It says that he who is able to control his spirit is stronger than the mighty who will put what? A city. Thank you. Is stronger. You see in some homes, you see mothers, they yell, they make the home very toxic for the children and all that. Please, number one thing you need is what? Emotional intelligence. You need to learn how to control your emotions, because if you're unable to manage your own emotions, you cannot teach your children to manage their own emotions. Number two is that you must connect with your children. Connection is beyond providing their basic needs, education, clothing, food, and all that. Please make out time. This is what I see that is lacking in so many homes today. No connection. Parents are very busy. Mothers are busy. Daddy is busy. Mommy is busy. In the morning, mommy will jump out to work, come back. Even when she's at home, it's the house girl that is attending to the children. The house girl is looking at the assignment. House girl is doing everything for the children and all that. See, there's this quote I stumbled at the other time, which says that the children you do not let into you do not connect with, yes, that's the right, yes. The children you do not connect with today will not let you into their lives tomorrow. And that is why in families today, you see children that they are not emotionally connected with their parents. They are just cohabiting. They are just, especially when they are grown. Everything I'm talking to is not when they are want to. At this point, they are vulnerable. Anything, sit down, they sit, stand up. I'm looking at when they are from 12 up, 18, 20. So it's important to connect with them now so that in future they will let you into their lives. The next one is that you must possess the right communication skills. Some parents don't know how to talk to their children. And unfortunately, you don't know that your words shapes your child's brain. Yes, for every time you tell your child you fail, the brain will just listen. But when you tell them that you are getting it right, the brain does what? It listens and it smiles. So your words are important. Please look at the way you talk to your children. Yes. And then talking about talking to children is also not just talking to children, but listening to them too. We call it what? Active listening. There are some people that they don't listen to that. Even when they are trying to make an explanation, they don't care. They don't want to listen. You shout down the child. No. Your communication skill is very important. If you must raise a wholesome child, then you must be intentional, not permissive in your parenting. Some mothers are very permissive. Some fathers are very permissive. Everything goes. A is good, B is good, even Z, everything is good. No, everything is not good. Please take time to pay attention and discipline when you need to discipline. Be consistent with discipline. Enforce your rules and your consequences. Yes, what she did in that vehicle was perfect for me. Consequence of that noise is that you're not going to use. You deny them. It's not punishment. You hear some people will come to school and say, why people not flogging? Let me buy cane for I'm like, you want to start good business for me. You want to buy cane, yes, so that I'll be flogging. Please, if you are on that table where you believe that you must hit a child before a child will listen, please come down from that table. You don't need, yes, you don't need to hit. Yes, you don't need to hit them. You don't need to. I was talking with a man the other time. He came to the office and he said to me, my son can only listen when you bring a cane. I looked at him and I pitied him. You know why I pitied him? That thing is called fear-based listening. It's not, that child, what the child will do is to develop what we call pseudo-personality. Personality that will help the child to adapt in that space. By the time that child steps out of that home, he will bring out his real personality. So if you believe in fear-based parenting of you must hit a child, you must shout, you must, please come down from that table this afternoon, okay? So you must be consistent with your discipline. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop it here.
Thank you so much, Ma. God bless you. I
Thank
learned
you,
so much, and my child is already 10. I was like, hey, I hope it's not too late.
It's not late. Thank you, Mom. You're welcome.
Okay. I think we have questions. I believe we have at least some. Wow. So I want to give us the opportunity. So let's take numbers. So Choma is 1. You are 2. You are 3. You are 4, 5. Any other person? One more. Okay, yeah. So let's start with that. No, 1. Okay. You want to help? Thank you. 1. Okay. This one. Please sit, ma'am, so that you are comfortable. Okay, let me get you some food. No, take. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Solisa. Very, very insightful. And
You're
I
welcome.
really love the way you deliver this lecture.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so my question is, you hear people talk about, like, people have kids and then like, oh, these children are my life. Is that really right? Should children be your life? I mean, I get that they're a huge part, but should they really be your life?
I didn't get you clear.
Okay. I said that people have kids and then they say things like, and they really act like that too, like, oh, these children are my life. I'm doing everything for them. Should that really be our disposition as parents?
I mean, that's a wrong disposition, okay? For someone to say, I'm doing everything for my child, already is an assignment. Nobody asks you to be a parent, right? Yes, you decided to be a parent. Yes. I actually made that mistake when my son got admission into the because he's very good academically. And then the first result we got from the school was not what I expected. I screamed. I'm like, do you know how much your dad is paying here after all the millions? Lack of ignorance is the worst disease, to be honest. And then it's not his business. How much his dad is paying? You are the person that chooses big school, right? That's your decision. There are other cheap schools around you can as well take him to. So if you are just and this, that, you are on your own. You understand? So we should, our children should be alive, fine. If you are looking at it from the angle of paying attention to them, paying attention, that's fine. You understand? But if it's in the angle of, I don't know, okay, because I have children, I also hear this from parents. You know, sometimes when they talk to me in school, I'm like, if I'm not a mother, I'll be crying, you know. This baby, you know how I suffer to have this and all that. And then they over-pamper this children, over-protect, they bail them out. They don't allow them to do anything. That's wrong. You are destroying the child. That's the right word. You can't live that child's life. See, even this baby will grow to become an adult and live her life. You can't live with this baby forever. So you don't need to bail them out. You don't need to overshield them. You don't need to say, I suffer to have them because of that. Nobody should correct them. And your parents will tell you, don't even correct my child. Do you know what I suffer to have this child? That's a very wrong, for me, it's very, very wrong, please. So don't overprotect, don't overshield. Don't say, I did this. They are everything to me. If they're everything to you from the perspective of you give them your time, your training, you are paying attention, that's fine. But if they're everything to you, you are coming from the angle of nobody should talk to my child because my child is this. No, for me, that's wrong. I don't know if I've answered your question. Is that okay? Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hello? Okay. Just to follow through from what you spoke about in a sense of be consistent with discipline, enforce your rules, and follow through. But no physical, no physical.
God bless you. Somebody is helping me at the back.
So I want to ask, what then do parents do? Because honestly, what they use is sometimes fear. But are they going to? Is it pick pin? Is it? How do you? What is the discipline that you follow through with?
Okay. Pick pin, right?
Yes.
That's punishment.
Yes.
Yes, that's punishment.
But is that part of your toolbox?
No, that's not it's not at all in my toolbox.
So what is in your own toolbox, especially when when you've seen something that the child is doing and you're trying to correct it? What then? Especially when you said strong-willed, stubborn, or some of them just will not. How do you ensure that they follow? How do you ensure that that thing is corrected?
Excellent. Thank you for that question, okay? I don't want to dive into discipline because it's a teaching on its own, okay? But unfortunately, people think that discipline is something you resort to at the moment of crisis when things go south. It's not. Discipline is all about teaching responsibility. That's why I kept emphasizing on system and structure. System. James Clear said, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. So if you start on time, that's the essence of starting on time. Power of starting on time. I'm coming now and still answer your question. If you start on time to teach your children, responsibility, resilience, love as a family value, okay? And then from this age, this baby is learning now. This baby, let me use this baby as an instance for us. You see this baby, see how she's smiling at someone now. If this brother pastor squeeze his face, now this baby will start crying. That means that the baby is learning. Do you understand? So if you start on time to train, your children will not even misbehave. Quote me. The only problem we have is that we don't train, we don't teach. We wait until when they misbehave, we'll now look for punishment. Yes. If your child understands, I kept emphasizing on family values. Family values is the key. Is the key. Let them understand that this thing is not acceptable in this house from age one. From age one. This thing, we are people of integrity. We don't accept this. We don't do this. We don't do this. There is the type of music we play in this house. We don't allow this. They will grow that way. Your children, a child that understands identity will not be compromising his behavior in the house. You will see it in the child. When they even do something wrong, they will come and tell you, Mommy, I did this. I'm sorry about it. Yes. Yes, I taught my children, if you lie to me, when I was thinking beating, it's okay, I'll beat you. But when you tell me the truth, so most of the times, if they do something stupid, the second one will come and say, Mommy, we did this. And you correct them. You correct them. But if you are that loud mother who will scream at everything, that's why I said you can't raise a wholesome child if you don't have emotional intelligence. And moreover, discipline is not an emergency. So once a child misbehaves, the mother or the father will rush the child, hit the child. Sometimes you keep quiet. When you are in your right mood, you call the child and correct the child. I gave an instance with my son when he got admission into secondary school. First result he brought home, he dropped to 60-something average. And I got mad. I'm like, what's the meaning of that? So he went there but thankfully, I did not touch him when we got home. Now, this is a child that has been out of the house for 3 months. You start complaining about result, number one. Didn't even care to find out how he coped in school. That's number one fault on my own. Now, when we got home, I didn't say anything until I think after 2 days. I invited him to the sitting room. Come and sit down. So what happened? I was talking, and he was listening. At the end of the day, he said, no, you know what, Mommy, don't worry. When I go back, I'll make it up for you. And true to it, he went back, studied very hard, and because they reshuffle everything, he moved from B class to D. From that C to D. From that D, he jumped to B. Back in the next term. Now, if I had rushed him, hit him, screamed, shout down the house, at the end of the day, he won't learn anything. So look for discipline that will work for your children. I love what she did. Denial is fine. Okay, so when you're done playing with your toys and you fail to pack it, you will not touch these toys in the next 1 week. If you don't do this, this will not happen. So those things that they treasure so much, deny them that thing for a moment. You will see they will not want to, next time, they want to do that thing very fast so that you won't deny them whatever they like so much. But if you beat them, don't beat your child. Don't scream. Teach. Yes. Yes, don't. Please. Please, I am telling you the gospel truth. I am telling you from my own mistakes, sincerely. Yes, if you might think that those beating is not working. It's not working anything. So it's only when I hit this child, it's not true. I don't even have answered my question. So adopt what will work for you. If you have a self-willed child, connect with that child. Connect with that child. From today, start doing things together with that child. Bring assignments, you read together with the child. Sometimes, let's go and swim. You go and swim with the child. Sometimes you take that child out. While you're walking, you are discussing. Do things together with that. In the kitchen, be with the child, cook. Let the person be maybe doing something for you. Once you are connected, nobody wants to offend someone who he or she is connected with. And you cannot effectively discipline a child you are not connected with. You cannot. Because that child, your connection, the person will be seeing your discipline from the angle of punishment. You understand? The child will not see from the right perspective. But when you are connected, the child will know that my mom is actually correcting me. I don't even getting me. So I will not tell you now, use this method, do this. But please don't use fear-based, don't use hitting, don't use this. Devise a means. Those things they treasure so much. Tell them if you don't get this done by so. Even my son, my second son, when he start washing, if you ask him to go and wash, he go down and I will just come and show him this is how you wash. Or you don't time me. Before I knew it, he started improving. So discipline is all about teaching. It's not, you cannot do this. Look at the house. Take that house, sweep it, show the house out, show the child. Tomorrow they will get it right. But if you just sit down there as a mother, you just scream and shout, and you can't sweep, I come and repeat it again, they will still mess it up. But when you model that thing, they will learn it. And tomorrow, that child you are connected with want to do it right because they don't want to offend mommy. Okay? I didn't go into all those because I didn't have time. But please, husband and wife must be on the same page in raising their children. One of the things that can damage a child is when daddy is saying Y and mommy is saying B. They are not on the same page. And once your children notice that you are not on the same page, they will tilt towards that person that is loose. They are very lenient. Yes. You see some children say, I don't want my mommy to do this. I want my dad because daddy don't care. Everything goes. You understand? Yeah. So the first thing is that husband... So husband and wife must be on the same page. Yes. When I got married, I told my husband, one thing I don't want you to do is to correct me in the presence of our children. Please. And I begged him. I said, I know I'm going to offend you because I won't promise you that for life. It's true now. If you tell your spouse I will never offend you, you are deceiving yourself. Yes. And so, but for every offense, please come inside the room. Even if you want to flog me, it's fine. But please don't do it in the presence of the children. Do you understand? So the husband and wife must be. Once your children see that two of you are together using one voice, you will get it right. You will get it right. Another question, so we can.
I'm number 3. Yes. Okay. Sorry, it's not to draw us back, but so my mom had certain disciplinary styles for me. I was a very close person to my mother, but she was very loving. But there were times where I was really naughty, and she still resorted to flogging me cane. So are we saying that she still resorted to flogging me with a cane, and especially on things that she had corrected me over and over again, and I was overtly stubborn, and I knew it was wrong. So there were those instances where I knew that she didn't use fear, and she would tell me, I will beat you for this, and she would do it. So are we saying that should not be part of what we are doing as parents? I really want to understand. Yes.
Okay, so if you look at your topic.
Sorry, let me just add on top of that so you can answer it together. Yeah, sorry, I'm a father. Bible did say that spare the rod and spoil the child, right? I don't believe in overly beating a child, but I have a son, and I know how a male child could be. And sometimes there's been 1 or 2 occasions where I have to, yeah. And, you know what I mean? When that happens, it knows why. We talk, you know why I did that? Would you do it again? We have that communication. So, is that allowed? Or are you saying don't even do that at all? Do everything conversation? Because personally, I think sometimes that needs to happen to drive home a point. It doesn't happen all the time. We talk all the time. I take away his toys. I tell him to go to sleep sometimes, but that happens. So please, help me build that into the response.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It's actually the same question, almost the same question. Okay, so he's still on discipline. He's asking, what's the why? Now, if the most important thing, if you spank that baby, please let that child understand why you did that. You understand? And let it not be where you are angry. You understand? Let it be in love. Make sure, let that child see it from the angle of love. Do you understand? Not that my dad is wicked. Okay? That's on that. And then the person that asked, my mom used to flog me. Please remember that we're raising 21st century children. It's not. No, right now we are raising another generation of children. It is not the same. See, to be honest to you, it's not the same. Growing up, my mom will not even talk. Maybe blinking her eyes, I understand what she's saying. But today, go home and blink at your child. Go. Go. So, yes, they'll be asking you, Mommy, what is anything? Did anything enter your eyes? Can I help you? So it's the whole thing, honestly, the game has changed. It's not the same. And that is why we need to adopt what is working now. Okay? What is working now is not that flogging. I'll keep screaming it. It's not that beating. My mom did that and it worked for me. Who even told you? Sometimes we'll think that we turned out okay. If you take time and study your life, If you take time.
Sorry, guys. I want to add something to that one, because I am a propagator for the cane. However, my sons had an intervention meeting with me. Yes, that's why when I want to emphasize when this generation is different. I dare not intervention with my mother. How? But this generation, they called me and said, Mommy, we want to talk to you about something. What? Mommy, please, this flogging you're flogging us is not working out. There are other things you can do to us. According to Google, these are all the options. Yes, that are available to you. If you deprive us, we are okay. That's why he's here. He said, because he has to. So we now had an agreement that, okay, I won't flog you, but if I have to say something more than 3-4 times, I will start getting angry. And I will get a cane. He said, okay, we will try our best to make sure you don't get. So that's why you have to think very well, this generation, when you want to raise children. You cannot use your old car key to drive your new car.
He has answered the question for me. Yes, he has answered the question. Yeah, my son will always tell me, Mommy, this cane is not working. These children, oh my God. Okay, last question, right? That's our last question for the day. Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I'm number 4.
Number 4. Who is 5?
Number 4.
Okay, all right.
Okay. First, I want to thank you very much, ma. I'm standing because I'm honoring you by standing.
Thank you.
Yes. So, I'd like to say something before I ask my question, and it's in regards to the formal question I was asked. So, when that scripture that said, I really appreciate Pastor Martin's teachings today. He said the rod is the word. That's what we learned today.
Excellent.
Yes. And I think the major reason why we are suffering from a mentality, issue, a mindset issue in this general area is because misinterpretation of the word has eaten into everybody's space. So when the scripture says, spare the rod and spoil the child, look at it as God's word. Sparing God's word, that not you restricting your child from hearing God's word is spoiling the child, not particularly hitting. And it really connects home with me because I was beaten a lot when I was a child, and it really affected my disposition as a person. Yes, I'm in my profession, right? You cannot be timid. If you cannot afford it, then I'm a superior, and I still have some tendencies of timidity, or I still had. Now, the irony of that thing is this: when you now see somebody with a predominant personality that is now your subordinate, it now becomes intimidation to you. Unfortunately, the person is not even that. The person is not trying to pose themselves. You understand? So some of these things that Cain does to you, children, is that it affects their personality. And yes, I think I'll just leave that there. That's one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Secondly, my question. The perspective of, parents, children is what everybody is going to see here. And that's the purpose of this. But I'm looking at it from a different dimension. As a soon-to-be parent, I was also a child. And one of the things I suffered was interacting with my parents. And I didn't know that it was so bad until recently my younger sister was talking to me. I was like, some days ago, me and Daddy were talking, and we're like, you've veered off so much. Nobody really knows what's happening in your life. And I'm not particularly a bad person, but it's hard for me to pick up my phone and call you when we never really had that connection. You understand? Yes, I even if I pick up my phone, there are times I actually actively tried, right? I'll try to keep the call longer than 2 minutes. You understand? But there's nothing to say. We never really had that rapport. And personally, it can never happen with me and my children. It's just that now, they're still around. And for us that we are Christians, right? As much as you want to correct the mistakes of the future, you also want to fix the mistake of the past. Because my parents are still alive. I would like them to have the best of me. I would like to have that interaction. How do I build that, repair that gap now? Because, yes, somehow it's their responsibility, but it's also my responsibility now that I understand that, okay, they tried with the amount of knowledge they had. They tried.
Yeah, exactly. You're
How
right.
do I now fix that gap?
Praise the Lord. You know what I would recommend for you? You need.
Sorry, one more thing. I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate you loudly because your understanding is not normal. It's the truth. Your understanding is not normal. You are breaching
Thank you so
two
much.
different, if not three generations in a teaching. I hope you have books because we need to
Thank
read.
you. Okay.
And I don't know, do podcast, do something. People need to hear you, man.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, so what I would recommend for you, you need a teaching on healing from childhood trauma. What you are going through now is still your childhood trauma. Yes, and that's why we don't need to. Yeah, you may not know. You know, trauma is not just what your parents did to you. It's also part of what they denied you. And that lack of communication is a problem, it's a trauma. It's a trauma. So today, because there was no connection, there is nothing to discuss with them. If I call my dad on phone now, I can speak with my dad for an hour. But if I call my mom, 10 minutes we are done. Because growing up, my father was big on connecting with us. He will visit you in school. He will sit down with you. He will call for morning prayers. We'll pray together. He's everything. My mom's own is just to beat you. Yes, any slighted whatever. And when she's beating, she will tell you, I'm giving you a sample. She will start from your leg and get it to your head. Yeah. So yes. Today, even me and I myself and my sibling, when we want to laugh, like, Mom, will give you a sample. So, but there was no connection. No emotional connection, no sitting together to, okay, these are all adults. Do you know, growing up, okay, children are here, let me not get into that, okay? So your challenge is because you didn't really, there was no connection growing up. So you have to intentionally build that connection now. Find a way to, I'm not saying you've not forgiven them, but find a way to make up. Do you understand? Yes. Find a way to visit them, show them more love, buy them more things. Anyhow you will connect. But that thing is, you need a class that will help you heal from that trauma. You need a class. So if you can check online, if there's any place you can see healing from a childhood trauma. Trauma, see, when you hear trauma is not only, when people hear trauma, they'll think it's something very bad. No. Things you deny your children can cause them traumas. Access you deny them, to be honest. Everything I say to you, I'm talking to you out of experience. My son, when he got admission into secondary school, it was like he will come back at the close of the term. This family will take their children to UK, London, this. And then the next thing we did, we processed our visa. 2018, we took them to US. Yes, because to them, that exposure, they think that the family is good. If you don't have the well with that, it's fine. But they think you have it, and then you are denying us something. So from the moment you give them that exposure, my son will not, today you won't come and tell them I went to Susu. He will tell you, me too, I was in Susu. And when we got to US, we'll cover how many cities. We are moving from Houston to the East. We moved for them to have that exposure. You understand? So trauma can be anything. It can be things you deny your children. Yes, so that is why parenting, see, some people think that parenting is an innate qualities. Because my parents parented me, I turned out okay. Like the uncle that said, if I take time, if we sit together and we analyze things, you will see that we didn't really turn out right. Yes, we didn't turn 100% the way we should have turned if their parents paid attention to everything. Myself, yes, I still see a lot of gaps that I'm on my own now, I'm struggling to make up. Right? But these are things, my parents, self-esteem, so many things that they're supposed to help you growing up. You understand? So just find a way to connect. That's all. And then for us parents, we should not perpetrate the same thing. We should please be connected with our children. Make out time for them. Make out time. Make out time, please. Thank you. Last question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So my question
Last
is...
question. Okay. Okay, someone is talking.
My question is, you said when parents bring kids to your school at 2 years, you ask them to take them home. So what's the right age to admit kids into school?
Okay, yeah, thank you. I said below 2 years. Because here in Nigerian, Once a child is 2 years, people want them to go to school. But please also pay attention to the school where you're taking your children to. School is another big factor that parents neglect. Oh, that school is good. They are teaching well. Children are passing the exams. That good school may not be good for your children. Before you take your child or your children to any school, please take time to study that school. Please know what that school stands for. Some traditional schools where the whole or everything goes, they don't care. They don't care, they don't pay attention to morals. Yes, they don't pay attention to anything. Please be careful. And then if you're taking your 2-year-old child, try to understand the school. Maybe you go to the owner of the school and ask questions. If the person teaching your 2-year-old child is not emotionally stable, you are exposing your child to danger. It's a big risk. It's a very big risk, I'm telling you. If there's any class I pay attention to in our school, it's those baby classes. I don't play. Once I arrive school, drop my bag in the office, I'm starting from the baby class. I want to be there. And then we can't give that class to any other person. We want to, first of all, make sure you are physically healthy, emotionally stable, spiritually sound. Yes. Everything, you must be, for me, spiritually sound. That's number one. Because you can sit there with the children and be doing what we don't understand, even when there is camera and all that. So please, don't take a child that is below 2 to school. At that point, they are still learning, picking emotion from their primary caregiver, from the environment. And the environment can also be your television. I've said that before. So please, a baby below 3 years does not have business with screen. Yes. Go and study. Yes. You know, today, mothers turn phone, iPad to what? Their children's what? Nannies. I don't want this baby to disturb me. They'll just hand over the phone. The child will be, be looking at different things. Go and study the cause of high rate of autism today in children. Early exposure to the screen. It's been almost, not number one, but one of the main reasons. Yes. In school, we don't used to have autistic children. Right now, we're having a number of them. In our school now, we have close to 10. And in fact, I started researching why the increase. Early exposure, 2 months baby, you hand the phone because the child is disturbing. Like this baby is playing. Now, this is play. She's playing. Some parents, because mothers today don't want to be mothers again, they don't want disturbance. They will just, iPad, the child will just, and that thing is rewiring their brain. Children don't learn from the screen. The brain is a mini-making machine. So at this age, the brain is still, I said it's elastic. Yes. So the brain is still absorbing, learning. And so if you put them on screen, there's this boy I observed in school. I had to send for the parents. This boy, in our baby class, he does not socialize. Does not play with other children. He's always playing on his own. Sometimes you see him in class be doing different things on his own. So I had to yes, that's what I do. I will invite parents. This baby, the mother now told us that he's always he has iPad at home. So he's always on their iPad and all that, constantly working. So that instead of this boy now, when he's in the midst of other children, to play with them, so he will just be, those things will be playing back. You understand? So you see him in class demonstrating all those things. And it's a big problem because that thing is shaping who that boy will become in future. So please, I hope it's not too hard. If you have a baby below 3 years, please leave screen. Take screen away from them, I beg you. Thank you. Okay.
Besides Legos and these puzzles, what else can we use? Because they will get bored over time. So what else? How else? What's yeah.
Yes. Buy coloring materials for them. There are a whole lot of materials. Go to the market, invest, spend a lot of money. You understand? Yes. If you buy a building block, when you think they are bored with that, please keep buying. Keep investing. Those things, you know what it does for them? It helps them build focus. You see, children that are always restless is because there's something someone missed out when they were very young, when they were 1, 2. If you give them, watch your child, tomorrow go and get a good puzzle and place it before that child. You see that for 1 hour, 2 hours, that baby will be busy fixing these puzzles, thinking. You are activating critical thinking. Do you understand? And you are building resilience. They can be on task for a long time. The number of children now, I see them in our primary classes, 10 minutes, they will sit. I want to go and ease myself. Next 10 minutes, because there's something their parents missed out. You understand? So please, they won't get bored. Then buy coloring materials. There are flashy ones that are beautiful. There are some that have Bible stories. So when you come back, you read it for them. Like this baby, please, you should stand down to read for this baby. She is listening. And so you read, you give the baby the crayon, everything to color. When that child is coloring, you are working on the fine motor skill. You are working on the fine motor skill. Exactly. You are working on the fine motor. So you are helping that child. So when that child eventually starts school, to write becomes very easy. The child will not be lazy. The child will be diligent with everything. You understand? So please buy, not television, please. And then do these things together with them. When you get this puzzle sometimes, please sit with them and feast it with them. That's the connection we're also talking about. Thank you.
Okay, there's one more person. But I wanted to just add, please. We made a big mistake with that. Big one. Where we were Baby Shark parents. Yeah, Baby Shark. Timilai from 6 months is Baby Sharking, you know. And what made us stop, and our own media plan is drastic because we are trying to repair. What made us stop was we noticed that in school they were not focusing. The teachers were all complaining the same thing, that your child cannot seem to just sit down, focus, and listen. So please, I just wanted to give an example, a life to that thing that she said. All right, so Pastor Martins, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ma. God bless you.
You're welcome, Pastor. Thank you, sir.
A lot of truth there. And then I see that a lot of people coming from, let's say, our generation, have issues with don't flog or flog and things like that. I will first of all correct the notion that the Bible didn't say if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. The Bible said if you spare the rod, you hate the child.
Excellent. Another translation.
No, the same translation. Okay, KJV. You say, he that spareth the rod hates the child. Say, but if you love your child, you would chasten them betimes. That's KJV. But TPT says, let me even read TPT. That's Proverbs 13:24. Eh? How did we add spoil? Yeah, it's the same way we misinterpret everything or water them down. So I think spoiling waters it down. Because whatever is spoiled, sometimes you can repair. There's a way you manage soup where it don't spoil, if you know that technology. So there's tech for that. If you went to Unibank and you are in Hall 4, there's a way to manage beans, and there's tech for all that. So in a way, we think if you spoil the rod, you spoil the child. No, God considers it more grievous than just spoiling. So Passion Translation says, if you withhold correction and punishment from your children, you demonstrate a lack of true love. You say you demonstrate it. So that means you are deliberate, you're intentional about demonstrating that you don't love this child. If you withhold correction or punishment. Do you understand? So I know that a lot of parents, I've been shouting it a lot of parents are not intentional. We just marry, the next thing we born. So because of that, people have a lot of questions. 1 year old, how do we do this? How do we do that? For a year plus now, my television at home had not come on.
Oh, you need to clap for it.
So it has not come on. So my kids now, we beg them to do something else other than book. They can wake up in the morning, pick up their books, and from painting to writing stories. My son is 7, my daughter is 5. My son now draws comics. To doing all that because we cut off. My wife just said, you know what, this TV thing, no. Because we stopped tab and all those things, stopped phone. But she just said, even this TV thing, I don't want it. So she begged me, say, I don't want it. I said, remove it. Because I even don't watch it. So we just put it off. Nothing is happening there. So, but of course, every once in a while, we have family time where we watch a movie. We do that.
Yes,
we watch movie. And it's
too.
movies that myself and my wife has watched beforehand.
Excellent.
So because she screens everything. So we would have screened it. So, okay. Oh, okay. There's no curse word here. There's no bad story here. Then we watch together. Do you get? Then after that, okay, we leave them again for a while. So that's what we do. Then I think that children get to an age where the spanking doesn't work. That's where Pastor most children has gotten to. That's why they called her, say, Mommy, this thing not a walk. Oh. Do you understand? But again, another thing we don't do a lot, which we did, was we programmed our children's character. I said, I know I was going to have a very fine girl, and I know the world that we live in. I said I wanted my daughter to be strong-willed. So we spoke it from my loins to when they became a seed in her womb. We're always talking to them. So my daughter came out. Martin, you testify because this is your daughter today. She's too proud. She's too deformed. I said, no, it's not forming. She knows who she is. If she doesn't want it's no, it's no. She doesn't, do you understand? If she doesn't want you to carry her, you don't carry her. So that's how we program. Then I program that my son be gentle and kind. So that's how they came. So we speak to them. And when they behave otherwise, we have the same conversations. But you know, this kind of child, for instance, you can't be reasoning with this child. But of course, those things that she was saying, things that you withdraw from them, do you get? Then I would usually beg my wife, you shout too much. You complain too much. No, babe, this thing doesn't work. They are learning, and they are learning something not good. But when you are doing anything, you say, she calls me, they comport themselves. I said, why? It's not beating. They learn, they understand. Do you understand? So apart from we talk to them, we pray for them, we confess the word of God on them, right? Then I started spanking my daughter earlier than my son because, like I said, strong will. So the spanking is not flogging to injure, because I told her she doesn't like to spank because I told her she gets upset. I say you are disturbed at what they did. It's not that you're trying to correct. So it's like your ego was bruised. So because of that, in spanking them, you can injure them. No, that's not correction anymore. It becomes abuse. So because of that, she doesn't do that. Do you get? So just maybe flicking. It's not painful, but they know that daddy loves me. They know that we play, but now I'm upset. Or they've done something that is out of turn, and I flick them. And then, it's like, what's happening? And then the next time my son is coming, he's begging, I'm sorry. I say, no, it's fine. But next time, don't do that. Do you understand? So I think they get to an age, you can no longer use that style. But if you train them from beginning, like she was telling us, as the Bible said, a child in the way he should go. One day we were together, my wife, we were talking, and then she was like, Zany doesn't want to go to bed. Do you remember? I just said, Zany, it's time to go to bed, okay? Okay, daddy. And she went straight to bed. She went straight to bed. I didn't have to be there or to yell or to spank her. I wasn't there physically. I wasn't at your house. I just said, Zany, it's time to go to bed, okay? Okay, daddy. But over the years, I kept speaking that they listen to me. They're obedient. And when I'm praying with them and affirming to them, I tell them, they also say it. I'm an obedient child. I'm a child of God. Do you understand? So I do that. Plus, do you get? So it's not one or the other. So that we don't, because a lot of us are coming from the point where they flog you. You piece for us, they flog you, your skin go tear. You fail, they flog you, things like that. So you think, man, that flogging, you would build something else in them and not what you are trying to do. Do you get? So now, especially those that you don't have kids now, start speaking the speaking and start creating them. Your words are potent. Then when they come, and for all these our babies, you continue the talk and you continue the discipline. You get? So, Ada, a lot of moms have those things. But they will be bored. Sometimes when my wife says they are bored, I say, no, they are not bored. You are bored. Raising children is full time.
It's full time.
It's full time. So I know that we are distracted a lot now because of society. I say, no, they are not bored. You are tired of having engagement with them. So come up with ways. And everything is inside you. You can do it because you are their parents. Do you get? So my wife is excellent. She does lovely. So come up with ways, with games, books, puzzles, different things. Come downstairs to play. Count flowers. Play with sand. All those things. So that's what we do. You take them. When she thinks, okay, we've been inside for too long. This thing is getting monotonous. Okay, let's go downstairs. Yay! They're shouting. They go downstairs, and then they play with flowers. They play with dirt. Yes, they play with dirt. Mommy, what's this? You start identifying. You pick things. Do you get? Because that is part of education. That's part of learning. And that's also part of connection. So now, sometimes they want to go to bed. They say, no, it's daddy's turn to read. Because we read to them. They say, is that it? And we've been reading to them since. Now they read by themselves. But for the fun of, they want us to get that like bedtime routine. We read and then we pray. Do you understand? We read and we pray. Because sometimes we think children are not intelligent. We think they are not, they cannot understand. No, they do understand. If my wife is crying, my son or daughter comes to call me. Like, why is she crying? Like, mommy, dad is crying. So because we already have a structure, a family, maybe policy, structure, character. So they know, why should somebody be sad and you're somewhere else? They know. So please, thank you so much, Master. I just thought to chip that in.
Great job. Thank you so much, Pastor Martin. All right, so that'll be all. Please, if you can, please stand up. Let's give her a standing round of applause because she has added tremendous value. We are honored to have you. We will have you again next year. We are quickly booking you now. All right, Ma, thank you so much.
All right, so don't worry, we'll have another one next year for the next About to Wed class. So thank you very much, guys. We're done.